Well, millions of people get injured on the job every year, and on average, more than 6,000 people die from those work-related injuries. Those are stunning numbers, and that's a tragic loss even with OSHA protection. Every April 28th, on the anniversary of OSHA, labor unions around the state and nation take a moment to pay respect for those who died or were injured at work. Participants also renew their commitment to fight even harder for healthier workplaces and stronger protections. This year, Workers' Memorial Day events were held in 3 locations in Connecticut, as tribute was paid to those who went to work and didn't come home. AFSCME Council 4 held a ceremony in New Britain to honor their union's members who died at work.
Nearly a century ago, the labor activist Mary Mother Jones said, "Mourn for the dead and fight like hell for the living." These words are at the heart of every Workers' Memorial Day. Every year on this day, April 28th, America's workers and their unions honor the thousands of men and women killed on the job and hundreds of thousands more who are hurt or made ill by workplace hazards. Today we pause in solemn tribute to those who have been killed or injured on the job. They include our own Council 4 sisters and brothers who are listed on our memorial monument. Today, this beautiful day, we also recognize those workers who are alive because of the successful workplace safety battles won by workers and their unions.
At the state capitol, the ceremony included a number of union members, supporters, and state officials, all committed to reducing job fatalities.
Well, I think the most important message of Workers' Memorial Day is to remember that safety on a job isn't a luxury, isn't an economic consideration, it's an absolute right. And at the state level and the federal level, we have got to stop cutting back on the inspectors, cops cutting back on enforcement, because only when people think there is teeth in enforcement will they provide a safe workplace.
Well, you know, over the year, Workers' Memorial Day, I guess, has evolved since L'Ambiance. L'Ambiance was an event that was unprecedented, I think, in the construction industry in Connecticut, but it's been replicated since, although not in as many lives lost, but in the magnitude of the disaster, the Milford Powerhouse collapse. They both came about because of different reasons. I think in Bridgeport, L'Ambiance was directly attributable to a race to the bottom line and how to get a construction project to finish as cheaply as possible. Safety was pretty much non-existent. The quality of the design and the construction was poor. And Milford was more human error than anything else, and was an unfortunate occurrence. People died, though, however, that's the bottom line.
So usually we're averaging between 5,000 and 6,000 people a year in this country dying on the job. In addition, and that's from occupational accidents. In addition to that, there's another 60,000 or so that are killed by occupational illness that they know about, and those are folks that the doctors can directly attribute it to. There's probably 4 or 5 times that number, really, because people retire, they move away, and then when they die of cancer, the doctor, wherever they are, there's natural death. There's also the problem with the bosses. They don't have to worry about going to jail. There's very limited jurisdiction that OSHA has over them. It's very little used, and what we need to do is strengthen that. When people fall off a roof after repeated violations and the boss gets an $8,000 fine, it's not acceptable. In Los Angeles, for example, the coroner's office investigates every workplace death. Maybe we need to think about, in this country, in this state, maybe we should have those folks looking into that, because the people that usually put people in jail are doing it out there. Maybe we'd have more of them going to jail if we did that here. And it's just not acceptable the way it is right now.
First of all, I think we have to constantly remind ourselves of the workers that we've lost on the jobs. And the way we can do that, and that reminder will make us, I think, train our employees better, to making sure our buildings are safe, not only in the structure, but making sure that the air quality is there, making sure our roads are safe, making sure that we are out there constantly monitoring the best place for people to work, and to make sure that our people come home every night from a safe place.
Well, one of the questions in Connecticut will always be whether our better numbers are more of a reflection of the service domination here or whether it's really that we are that much safer. We need to look at the numbers for people who are in traditionally hazardous jobs. I'm happy our numbers are better than America, but not one death is acceptable.
We have to continue those lower numbers down to zero, and then we can stop having these things. But right now, we have to continue to remind people. We've done a good job, but we still lost 36 people.
The bill that's presently here now, the OSHA 10 safety training, that would require all construction workers to have that training, I think would help. And other than that, it's monitoring and enforcement. You know, for any of workplace safety laws, prevailing wage, it's only as good as the enforcement is. And if the penalties are such that you get a slap on the hand or a $5,000 fine when someone gets killed, there's no impetus to correct it. You know, if they get caught, they'll pay it. It's no big deal. Price of doing business. In Connecticut, we've tried to pass laws that will require OSHA 10 training in the workplace, so that will help. We'll continue to struggle, and we'll continue to work with the legislature to improve health and safety in the workplace. That's about it.
On Workers' Memorial Day, an early morning ceremony also took place in Groton at the Workers' Memorial in the park there. You know, you can do your part to help save lives and limbs at work by finding out more information about workplace safety, and why don't you check out our website for that information.